Marzgurl, I have come to request your aid in fighting Dr. Insano. I know someone of your talents could be very useful in... Do you realize you have a pillow against your face?
Oh. Hi, Linkara.
What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just, watching Cool World, and it was kind of intolerable and hard to handle alone of Cool World.
You tried to watch Cool World on your own? Scoot over. The only way to watch something like Cool World is with a friend.
This film features Brad Pitt coming home from World War II and being very friendly with his mother. In fact, he brings her out of the house while leaving dinner to burn, with the house along with it, to show her a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise. It's all right.
What could it be? A chicken?
A special edition DVD extended edition cut of Fight Club?
A better movie?
An indecipherable plot involving cartoons? No, it's a motorcycle.
You ready? We're going for a ride. Oh, no.
Well, this is nice and calm. They're just driving along the road, enjoying life. Surely there's nothing that could put a tragic end to this wonderful scene and... Oh.
You jinxed it.
At the same time, some cartoon scientist opens a hole into our universe and pulls Brad Pitt in. Perfect emotional timing. Brad Pitt isn't in the slightest bit interested in his surroundings, possibly because he's still mopey about his dead mom/girlfriend.
Oh, come on, Brad Pitt! That was like 5 minutes ago! Stop living in the past!
We cut to 1992. Bill Clinton is president, Superman is dead, and this movie still isn't over. Brad Pitt isn't any older either, as he has apparently taken on the role of a police officer in Cool World. He apparently just decided to be a cop, since apparently there is no other authority figure in Cool World except for him.
We also meet Jack Deeves, a cartoonist just getting released from prison. Apparently some prisoners are allowed to have an entire art studio in their cell, even if they kill someone. He also apparently is fantasizing about his creation, the eponymous Cool World, and one particular creation.
Say, who's the hot chick in the skimpy white outfit?
I thought you were a feminist.
It makes me have an appreciation for the female body. Ow.
You're just a drawing, Holly, but without you, I'd never have made it.
Your improbable physique is just such a turn-on.
Holly is constantly harassed by Brad Pitt, who, like the dumb shoe that he is, just continually wants her not to bring any noids into Cool World because...
I've seen your little
he doesn't explain. I don't know, they kind of talked about it at the end, but for the most part it's just to set Brad Pitt up as the hero?
The antagonist?
The janitor?
Who knows? Holly herself wants to have sex with a real person because apparently it will turn her into a real girl. This is really a Cool World no-no for some reason. And in a good movie, her desire to actually feel something beyond her limited two-dimensional senses might have made an interesting story. Instead, it ends up being window dressing for her real purpose, to slut up to real-world men. As for the animation, it's laughable.
Would you look at those legs?
Actually, I wouldn't even laugh at this. I can see where they were trying to be funny, but in the end it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it's competent enough, but at other times it's just lazy. Not only is it the poorest quality, but at many points the animation tries to derail the plot. random cartoons will run across the screen during moments that could be important to plot or character development. It's just utterly pointless. It's like all of a sudden you and I are having a conversation, okay, and then these stuffed animals...
And that, Marzgurl, is my version of the unified field theory.
It's so simple, and to think it could have been summed up in just one single simple sentence.
Indeed, and that single sentence is, of course...
Did something just happen?
Oh, my Coke spilled, sorry.
You better clean that up.
Integrating it with the live-action segments is especially eye-roll worthy. For example, sometimes we'll have a live-action zoom out of a camera, but instead of letting the camera for the cartoon zoom out as well, the cartoon is just pulled along for the ride.
Then, in a bold attempt to integrate some live action with cartoon environment, often the scenery is just cardboard cutouts, but it's especially jarring when we have, say, an animated car speeding along. But when it stops, it suddenly becomes a live-action car, with all the scenes quite visible.
Jack is pulled into Cool World multiple times, though the first time is just weird. Apparently, gravity can slow down, speed up, and then decide to go sideways. Then we're treated to an uncomfortable minute and a half of this dance club, where synchronized rhythmic head jittering is taking place.
Then we cut to Holly dancing. Okay, she has boobs, and barely a waist to speak of. Then more leering at Holly. Then more boobs. Then leering some more. Then the audience tries to find an exit. Mercifully, the scene finally ends, developing no characters and proving pointless to the plot.
After Jack is released from prison, he goes to his home, apparently littered with all of his stuff. I guess the state keeps your home in pristine condition after you murder someone.
Yeah, if you want to call a one-level suburban home littered with drawings of half-naked women who are drawn anatomically incorrectly pristine.
We're also briefly introduced to Neighbor Lady, so called because we never really learn her name until the end. So in our minds, she's just Neighbor Lady.
Holy crap, that phone is huge! I know it's the early 90s and all, but who is she calling? Saturn?
Jack is pulled into Cool World again by Holly somehow, and is greeted by Holly's gang of annoyings.
Ooh, darling, I want your hair.
Get out!
Ooh, and your neck. Ooh, could you squeeze it? Let me see your ear, sweetie. Oh, don't be shy.
You know, looking at these things, I have to ask, are there any regular-looking guy doodles in Cool World? I mean, even if both Holly and Brad Pitt's girlfriend look bizarre, and yes, Brad Pitt has an animated girlfriend, insert your own Angelina Jolie joke here, they're still eye candy for the male audience. Where the hell's the sexualized guy for the women? The closest we get is this purple guy who kind of seems like an antagonist at first, but then he promptly disappears from the movie.
You were too young to be thinking about girls.
So anyway, after one pointless scene, we get a tiny bit of plot with Holly and Jack, but then right back to utter pointlessness with the Poppers chasing after them.
Wait, the Poppers? You mean the cops? Why do they call them Poppers? Why not just call them police, or cops, or law enforcement, or pigs, or any other term that isn't stupid? Well, we can only assume it's because of the sounds that their guns make. Wow. The sheer creativity of the writers is absolutely astounding.
No, get away from that! No.
Holly's car is blessed with not only a pair of lips, but an ass. An ass on a car. I think I'm gonna cry. Oh, and this one doodle gets to diddle on the Poppers. Such a mature film.
Holly brings our, hero? Again, don't know who's the protagonist. To a bar.
It's about this time that Jack seems to be realizing just how insane this world that he drew really is. I hope we get an apology by the end of it. Jack is greeted by Brad Pitt.
Cool World, please. Freeze, asshole.
Well, these two are gonna hit it off, I can see. The story you're about to see is really lame. The names have been changed, but no one is innocent. Brad Pitt makes some vague threats about how having sex is bad, and apparently ink pens are weapons of mass destruction.
Keep your pencil in your pocket.
Can't say I've ever heard that one before.
How about don't dip your pen in the ink?
I can say I've heard even less of that one.
Neither has anyone else. For God's sakes, woman, could you hold off on the sex for 2 minutes?
We've had 3 erotic dance sequences so far, lady. We get it. The only thing turned on here is going to be the mute button. Power button's coming next.
So Brad Pitt visits his girlfriend, who wants to have sex with him. But of course, he must resist temptation because he fears his utter blandness will transfer to her.
We're just going to have to pretend then, aren't we?
Yes, let's pretend. Let's pretend we're someplace very far away from this movie.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Okay, Jack starts dancing and... Wait, what? He crashes 3 times in his apartment. Huh? Goes out to the desert and accomplishes nothing in the full 10 seconds that he's there. What an important scene. I can't imagine anything that should have ended up on the cutting room floor here.
This place should be erased.
I was in the usual suspects, for God's sakes! So yes, Jack is once again pulled back into Cool World. Apparently every 5 minutes the writers just flipped a coin to decide which world Jack was going to be in next. Holly finally gets Jack alone in order to dip the pen in the ink.
What, we're using that now?
Just roll with it.
And oh yeah, here we go, sex scene. We've only waited 50 minutes of padding for this moment, folks.
Oh goody, because the sex scene wasn't in the least bit interesting, we have to cut back to the squad of pointless pinheads.
Now wait a second. Just a few minutes ago, we saw the real-life Noid Brad Pitt having to scale this huge tower along with a doodle. But this team of doodles is able to create a tower of random objects to see these things happening?
You're honestly asking for logic? During the scene when a cartoon is trying to have sex with a real-life human, you're honestly asking for logic now!
A shred of it would be nice.
Prepare to be disappointed. You know, if she said earlier that she doesn't feel anything, why is she writhing around like that?
And for that matter, if a doodle can't feel anything, then what's a Noid getting out of this?
Paper cuts?
Alrighty, cut back to them continuing their foreplay. Or she's dancing. At least I think she's dancing because that is her default mode in this movie. Then she explodes!
Crap! Brad Pitt was right about not having sex with doodles!
Was it good for you?
That was sex, right?
I don't know. It kind of looked like her dancing. Apparently, having sex with a Noid turns her into a real boy. Girl. Holy crap, Kim Basinger! So, wait, the big, horrible secret of Cool World is that if a doodle has sex with a Noid, then the doodle becomes a real person?
How is this a problem? Seriously, no explanation is ever offered of why this is bad. It just is. Yes, later on, bad things happen, but the idea that those events are somehow a logic conclusion of this action just boggles the mind. Then again, we're once again trying to find logic in the space between the writer's ears. Man, it's just like everything about this movie just makes me so angry!
Hey, that's my line! Also, let me get this straight. She finally has a chance to wear real clothes, and the first outfit she dons is equivalent to that of a waitress at a truck stop diner. Even if we were to accept that her clothes were separate from the hand-drawn ones she's sported, why is she suddenly now wearing this when all of her clothes were supposed to be doodles, plus they were all stripperific?
So, of course, the first thing that Kim Basinger wants to do is see the real world. And so she and Jack go to the real world via... A special effect from the Gem TV show.
Brad Pitt decides he needs to go stop Kim Basinger from doing whatever it is she's going to do.
I guess if he can't have sex, no one can have sex.
His girlfriend asks him why he needs to risk his life, why he can't just stay and sleep with her.
Let me tell you something about over there. It hurts over there. It's lonely over there.
Not like here! Here we have random cartoon violence and blood and death and pain and no sex and... Why do I like it here again?
So the way for Brad Pitt to travel back to the real world is, via a blue screen flashback. Okay, movie, we'll buy it, but not for much.
Back in the real world, Jack takes Kim Basinger to a nightclub, where she's amazed by everything. Though one thing in particular is what grabs her attention.
So many men. They're real.
And I want to bang every one of them!
It turns out that isn't that far off from the truth, as we have yet another erotic dance sequence, this time in live action.
Wow, what an interesting new twist on this concept!
Oh no you don't! I'm not doing this alone!
No!
However, for some reason, Holly starts becoming a doodle again, but not the same doodle as she was before. Okay. Is this what Cool World was so worried about? They'd become real, and then they'd become clowns? Jack is even becoming a doodle clown. Sure, why not?
Holly reasons that the only way to fix this is to take a spike from the top of a hotel. It's based on some legend or something. I wasn't paying attention, and no one else at the studio was either.
Both Jack and Brad Pitt somehow know this is horribly bad, so they join forces with Jack's neighbor. Remember her? Turns out she's about as intelligent as a rock because she buys the story, no questions asked whatsoever. Apparently, the aliens she was talking to did something to her brain.
Oh, and the scientist who brought Brad Pitt to Cool World is suddenly at the hotel. Sure, why not? Because, let's be honest, people, every time this movie throws something like this at us, even at an hour into the film, that's all you can say to it at this point. Sure, why not?
While Kim Basinger slips between live and doodle, our heroes, I guess we can call them heroes now, arrive at the hotel. Brad Pitt chases after her, eventually cornering her on a ledge. Holly becomes trapped, unable to come back, and Brad Pitt, being the completely, utterly ineffectual, boneheaded, naive, dumbass of a character that he is, doesn't just shoot her, no, he actually tries to save her and gets pushed off for his trouble, falling to his death.
Wow, that was sudden. Well, I guess he's gonna say some parting words, or maybe he caught a scaffolding, or... Oh, never mind. So now it's up to Jack to climb up and stop her from grabbing the spike, because it's his destiny to be a hero.
Sure, why not?
However, he's too late and Holly pulls out the spike. And what is beyond the spike? Well, it's beyond words. Okay, folks, if the movie is going to say, screw you to the audience, I think it's only fair we say, screw you right back!
But wait!
So Holly becomes a toon again and is happy with it. Sure, why not?
Jack becomes a caricature of a superhero. Sure, why not? And the spike is back in its rightful place, and all the tunes are pulled back, except for the scientist.
Sure, why not?
But what about Brad Pitt's faithful girlfriend, the only person in this movie who we don't hate abundantly? Well, his corpse is brought back to her and the situation explained. And she had to live with horrible, terrible grief.
But wait!
Well, what happens to nerds who traffic in the cool world, Nails, when they get killed by a doodle?
They become one with the Force?
They become a part of the life stream?
They decompose slower?
What?
They become a doodle themselves.
Hot dog! Dig it! Dig me!
Yay! I finally got my male doodle!
What? When did they explain this rule? When did this ever come up in the story? How does this make any bit of sense?
Do you really care? I don't really care. I got me a male doodle. You know, as boring as Beauty and Warrior was, at least it was something relaxing. I could sleep to it. This just makes me overly excited because it never freaking stops! There's always something coming at you, exploding in your face, or making absolutely no comprehensible sense!
With that, I'm Linkara,
And I'm Marzgurl.
reminding you that this movie... Where were we?
We were talking about sex.
Yes. That's exactly what we were talking about.